Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Schauer, and I do have a second mic. If it doesn't work because I really don't know how the interface thing works, I will just be using that mic. I have high ceilings, so I thought I'd go for two, but need some Red Bull. It is 9 o'clock at night. I'm feeling really good about myself. I just had a whole crisis about my age, and then after some quick introspection, I realized that I'm doing fairly well. Anywho. So today we're going to be talking about the Millennials versus Gen Z situation. Dopey, can you stop? From what I've seen, it's very one-sided. Older millennial women creating these cringeworthy raps and songs to lip sync to, and they just make me so uncomfortable. But full disclosure, I am a millennial. I was born October of 94, not 93 like some websites would suggest. I am 26 years old, so I'm the last millennial. And I'm going to be unbiased on this, mainly. I was gonna say mainly because I hate most millennials, but that's not unbiased. That means I have a bias. But we're gonna be looking into it. The first thing we're gonna do is react to the memes and the videos. And in the second half of this, I'm gonna give some notes, some thought starters, suggestions. Today's video does not have a sponsor, so I can say this. Pussy, cock, jizz, cum, douching. Thank you so much. Okay, so this is an article from Now This. It's a news source. It's an op-ed. Millennials need to stop spiraling over Gen Z thinking they're uncool. Gen Z doesn't believe in parting your hair to the side while young people voicing their opinions on trends is not revolutionary. They have, for some reason, set their elders into existential panic. In recent weeks, millennials have gone off on Gen Z, whose members declared several once popular trends, including skinny jeans and side-parted hair, out of style, full-grown adults taking jabs on Twitter and TikTok about a generation made up mostly of teenagers telling them they are no longer hip. Millennials, we need to get it together. Absolutely 100%. Is this even? Is that level? Toby, stop drinking water. Well, actually, no. You're dehydrated. Please, continue. No. Toby, go back. Toby, go back. Go back and drink water. He said no. All right, where it all began. The feud between generations started on TikTok, as most things do in the modern cool world. On the popular video app, Gen Z reigns supreme and decide what's in, including fashion, slang, and music. In the video from July 2020, TikToker Miss Lady Gleep challenged people to test out the middle part, hoping to prove that it's superior to the side part. Then in another devastating blow, TikToker Alexi made a video about baggy jeans being swag. So first off, we're gonna react to Alexi's video about jeans being swag.
Damn, I wish I was swag. If only I was swag. Yo, I'm so swag right now. Oh my god. Ah!
Riveting. I think that's pretty harmless, pretty fun. Followed up, the hits on skinny jeans kept coming. Okay, so the options were be homeless or wear skinny jeans, and she chose A, which is funny with the audio, but also like, no, whatever. It's totally fine. I'm hip. Moving along, at some point in the Gen Z discourse, the cry laughing emoji also signaled you are indeed old. The cry laughing emoji means you're old? I think it's a great way to mock people. I use that when like I'm trying to seem like a dick, but I understand how that would, I guess people use it in sincerity. The TikTokers are a direct hit to millennials, the generation defined by the Pew Research Center as being born between 1981 and 1996. Gen Z, whose members were born between 1997 and sometime in the early 2010s, have made millennials their target for a while. In June, a widely shared tweet showed screenshots of the Tide Pod eating generation endlessly roasting millennials in the comments of a TikTok. Gen Z can be seen making fun of millennials for being obsessed with Harry Potter and saying adulting, which is arguably the worst word. Tide Pod eating tweets? Okay, wait, no. As someone who was online in 2015, it was millennials and Gen Z alike that were eating Tide Pods. It wasn't just teenagers. I was 21 in 2015, and there were definitely people my age eating Tide Pods. Adulting is an absolutely heinous word. I cannot even disagree. Millennials have become obsessed with clapping back at Gen Z. No. Okay, so this is a video by Sanders Studies.
Gen Zers on this app will be like, millennials, you have to get over your side part. Like, where were you in 2011 when I was getting bullied for having a middle part? 2nd grade? Shut the fuck up.
You were bullied for having a middle part? Are you fucking serious? You expect me to believe that you were bullied for having a middle part? Yes, you may have been made fun of it marginally, but bullied? Oh my god, that's something that Netflix would do. I'm just a regular everyday girl. I have mousy brown hair. I'm 5'4", and I get
ruthlessly bullied for my middle part.
freak, loser, weirdo. Ew, she's got a middle part. Gross. Coming this fall to Netflix, Middle Part Girl. Whatever. Moving along, this one says, okay, this is funny.
Everywhere I'm looking now, I'm surrounded by your embrace. Baby, I can see your halo. You know you're my saving grace.
Okay, isn't that purpose of that trend with that audio with Beyonce supposed to be to fall over? Why is that one say, okay, this one is funny? It's not funny. Oh, Jesus Christ. Millennials are jealous of not being the main character anymore. For so many years, it was millennials this, millennials that, avocado toast, student loan debt, and being hated by baby boomers was and still is millennials' entire public persona. Not long ago, we were the youth, we controlled the discourse. We created new trends. We bought Facebook to its height of popularity and watched its subsequent downfall when our grandparents, conspiracy theorists, and hackers overtook the social media site. So I do have a TikTok saved. The original video, I think, was deleted. It's by Sierra Misty Sunday. She's duetting this video by Jess Lejo, and her caption is, teens really can't do shit without millennials making it about them and getting offended for no reason.
We have been doing this since the early 2000s because our parents wouldn't buy us.
Okay, so basically the lady was stitching this young girl who started curling her hair with a flat iron, and she's like, we've been doing this forever, which is so actually fucking dumb. Here's the thing, if you've been doing it since the early 2000s and they were maybe 4 or 5 at the time, of course they didn't know how to curl their hair with a flat iron back then. Did you know how to curl your hair with a flat iron when you were 4 or 5 years old? It gives very much like when you wear a band tee and dudes come up to you and they're like, name 3 songs. If you hate those guys, you're being those guys. It's annoying as shit. So this is a video by Bluish Liz.
I don't really talk like this, I know. But this nigga got a real big whoop for show. Said he wanted to take it to the room.
As someone who is very much online, they're not gonna get mad that you have a middle or side part. They're gonna suggest maybe you try a middle part, but they're not gonna be like, you're blowing this out of proportion. What do the comments say? But you look very old with or without the middle part. Miss Truth Hurts. All right, cunt. We don't give a fuck. I did not train my hair for years to do a side part just for middle parts to come back. Just for middle parts to come back. As a woman or a person affected by misogyny, surely you must recognize that trends are a revolving door. I'm just gonna keep doing the side part. Just keep doing the side part or the middle part. They literally don't give a shit. I feel like a rogue Gen Zer suggested to a millennial to try a middle part, and then millennials just ran with it. It's very much like a Fox News situation. Fox News comes up with some bogus story like, in schools nowadays, they're making everyone pledge allegiance to the pride flag. And then our ignorant parents and elders hear that complete bullshit and then run with it everywhere. And now we're at the dinner table explaining to our parents, no, they don't make you pledge allegiance to the pride flag, but it's just like, you know, they believe that we do that now. This is a video by Call Me Riss, and I'm proud to be a millennial.
And I'm proud to be a millennial with my side part and skinny jeans. And I won't be told what to wear or how to use emojis. Would you kindly shut the fuck up? Ain't nobody asked you for your opinion anyway. Here's a message from millennials to Gen Z. Stay in your motherfucking lane.
What the fuck? That's very much a Republican in heat. The urge to make a diss track about mundane shit that doesn't matter is very much a white Republican woman's fantasy. Here's another one by Dead Brandy. I think it's the same song.
And I'm proud to be a millennial with my side part and skinny jeans. And I won't be told.
We're gonna stop it right there. I really don't give a shit. The fact that her hand is over her heart does suggest that she respects the flag and is therefore a Republican. Oh my god, that was fucking horrific. So I haven't really seen a lot of animosity from Gen Zs in video form. However, some of their comments are pretty ruthless. I mean, younger people are known for being pretty cutting. For example, I had this video pop up on my For You page. It's by Hannah Stelter. It's a birthday card idea.
So people have been asking me for birthday card ideas recently, and I thought of this one the other day. We're gonna start by drawing a fork on the front of the card and writing fork. And then the idea is it will go something kind of like this. Fork, I forgot your birthday again. Here's $10. Love you.
I didn't see anything wrong with that. I thought it was a cheap, easy way to make someone something cute for their birthday. But the comment section, the first comment, that is so millennial. They're resourceful. Gen Z is resourceful. There's another comment that says I'm on the wrong side of TikTok. What do you mean the wrong side? It's just a craft. Oh my god, so creative. Hashtag millennial. Hashtag parenting is hard. Hashtag wine. Hashtag girl boss.
All right, so I just wanted to add this. It became clear, like, the two groups that are fighting are much older millennials and much younger Gen Z, because I think those two groups truly don't understand the internet. I know that Gen Z was raised with the internet, but much younger Gen Z doesn't understand, like, internet etiquette, and they think that they're anonymous, and if they post something inflammatory, it'll never come back to bite them in the ass. And I think that's the difference between older Gen Z and younger Gen Z, is that older Gen Z understands, like, if you post something offensive, you may not get into your college of choice, or you may get kicked out of school, therefore they don't do it. Younger Gen Z doesn't have that understanding yet, and then much older millennials don't understand trends, and that's why they're posting cringy shit, and then younger Gen Z takes the bait and they're just gonna fight.
I would expect these types of comments on the previous video that we watched where it's like, I'm proud to be a millennial. That deserves the bombardment of comments. What is this comment section? Okay, so for this next part, I'm gonna give a millennial perspective on why I think these women are so triggered. Millennial women are so triggered, and the previous article did mention that, you know, millennials aren't in the spotlight anymore, which I think is a large part of it, but I also think it's just like women and people affected by misogyny are afraid of aging because our patriarchal society punishes them for doing that. Think about, like, men in media. Men can turn 50 and they're thought of as silver foxes on the silver screen, but a woman turns 50 and the only way that audiences consider her attractive is if she upholds completely unrealistic beauty standards. It only gets worse for people of color or people who are plus size. You know, you think about black women, there's the mammy stereotype in which they become like a grandmother figure when they get older. And think about in media, who is a 50-year-old woman who's plus size, who's considered attractive? It gets worse and worse for everyone. We see articles about J-Lo all the time. How does she maintain it? She probably has an entire team dedicated to her figure. But do everyday women and people affected by misogyny have access to that? Absolutely not. As people who are constantly online, you feel bombarded day in and day out with information and shit like that. If you're Gen Z, you're raised with these unrealistic beauty standards right in your face on your phone. You see the Jenners, you see Madison Beer every single fucking day, and you've had to compare yourself to these women every single day of your life. Millennial women were kind of raised with that, but they feel very much out of the loop. I know that I'm 26 online, and a lot of people, when they find that out, they tell me, oh, you look great for your age. And as people affected by misogyny, we know how hurtful a qualified compliment is. Oh, you're smart for a woman. Oh, you're funny for a woman. And age is a new frontier for a lot of millennial women, and the internet just keeps throwing it in our face. I have so many friends who are in their late 20s, and there are a lot of people commenting on their stuff. You look so great for 29, or like, I would have never guessed you were 29. I'm gonna read a little bit from this Marie Claire article. Why are we so afraid of getting old? We've all heard the saying, oh, you never ask a lady her age. But why is that? Because once we reach a certain point in our lives, we start to dread getting older. We fear, loathe it, and do everything we can to stop it, and the billion-dollar beauty industry banks on it. Moving along within the article, aging is not a problem to be fixed or a disease to be cured, says Ashton Applewhite in her TED Talks, Let's End Ageism. It's a natural, powerful, lifelong process that unites us all. Women experience the double whammy of ageism and sexism, she adds. So we experience aging differently. There's a double standard at work here. Shocker. The notion that aging enhances men and devalues women. Women reinforce this double standard when we compete to stay young, another punishing and losing proposition. It's a very common thing to feel like you're competing with other women. I feel like I have a unique perspective on this because I am a lesbian.
Gay!
I do feel that competitiveness, but also now when I'm in a group of women, I don't feel so much competition as I recognize that they're all attractive. There's this theme in sapphic communities where it's like, do I want to be them or do I want to fuck them? So I think that's my one means of escape. So I think millennial women who are instigating this see it very much as a competition, and Gen Z is very much lax on it because they have the leg up in the competition because society perceives youthfulness as more desirable. And, you know, when people are hurt and losing, they lash out. It doesn't excuse their behavior, but I think it's one point that we could consider. In this article as well, in her talk, Applewhite discusses how negative messages about aging and late life bombard us. Wrinkles are ugly, old people are pathetic. She says of what becomes ingrained in us through cultural norms, women become old and haggard while men become silver foxes and are likened to fine wine. They get better with age. You can't make money off satisfaction, but shame and fear create markets, and capitalism always need new markets. She says, who says wrinkles are ugly? The multi-billion-dollar skincare industry. Who says premenopause and low T and mild cognitive impairment are medical conditions? The trillion-dollar pharmaceutical industry. It's the patriarchy and capitalism. We are all victims to it, and we've been pitted against each other because we're competing for male attention, male validation, whether it be unconscious or consciously. And then we're being sold all these products to fix what's wrong with us. Because where are the fucking men in all of this? Why aren't we critiquing men's style? What's happening is ageism. It's yet another beauty standard that people affected by misogyny have to deal with. Because ageism is very much a construct. It's not real. Women's perceived value came from their ability to make children, and that meant youth equals beauty, valuable people. But now people affected by misogyny are living to 80 or 90 years old, so you're not old when you're 30. You're in your first third of life. You're very much young. So Gen Z women calling millennial women old is just reinforcing patriarchal beauty standards. What's sad is that they don't realize that they will soon have to deal with those beauty standards that they reinforced, because everyone gets old. Everyone ages.
You're a victim.
Here we go.
And if you think beauty standards suck when you're young, there is one more coming. So I actually did look it up. There is a term for being afraid of aging. It's called Gerascophobia. Gerascophobia can be successfully treated by cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, which helps individuals to retain their thinking about aging. For others who find themselves approaching milestone ages like 30 and panicking about running out of time, breathe, it's going to be okay. The internet makes everything feel like it's moving faster, like we're never fully present in one moment, always spinning towards something catastrophic. As a society, we need to be less derogatory about aging and talk more openly about all aspects of it, including the many, many positives. So I say this with all the love in my heart, millennials affected by misogyny. If you find yourself fighting with younger people about your age because you fear aging and they are now taking your place, I would strongly suggest going to therapy. Millennials are the therapy generation because you are dealing with the prolonged effects of the patriarchy and beauty standards, and you don't realize it, and you're taking out on people who are also victims of the patriarchy and beauty standards. You see? Verste? Understood? And so my suggestion for Gen Z is you're not in the wrong for most of this. I would just say, like, when you're gonna comment something on the cringy shit, it's perfectly normal to make fun of cringy shit. I get that. But be very aware of comments that put people affected by misogyny down for their age, because it is reinforcing a patriarchal beauty standard that you will inevitably have to deal with. So that's pretty much it for today. That's my take. It's a lot more than style. Style is a revolving door. And I would just like to say, Gen Z, if you're gonna leave a mean comment, can you please do it before Thursday at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, because that's when therapy is, and I like to get everything out on the table. Millennials, you can leave a hate comment whenever, because you're hurting yourself just as much as you're hurting me. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.